the course of his career and his life, and how hard it was for him to come back to the game he loved without the father that he loved. In part one of his conversation with Andrea Kramer, Jordan talks about coping, recharging, and returning.
You had a lot of downtime during baseball, a lot of time to think and reflect. What sorts of things did you think and reflect about?
I was really caught up into that whole thing of baseball and learning about it and dealing with it, what I had to deal with. The new players who were 10 years younger than I am, maybe some 11, but yet they had an attitude towards the game that they truly loved, because it was just a game. It was a dream that they were fulfilling. I kind of lost that in the realm of what was happening to me 2 years ago with basketball. I mean, I was on a pedestal for so long that I forgot about the steps to get to that. And I think that's what minor league baseball did to me.
Why are there rumors, unsubstantiated, quite unsubstantiated, that still exist out there that relate your departure to gambling? Oh, it was a secret suspension. Why is that out there? Does it bother you? And is it true? Anything true about it?
No, it doesn't bother me, and no, it's not true. Reason being is what we spoke about earlier, is I have a freedom to make a choice. And no one seems to understand that. That I can walk away from the game and not worry about, a lot of things that happen, the traveling, the stardom, the respects, the money, those are all monetary things that doesn't mean much to me anyway. I play the game because I love the game. If I don't have a purpose, I walk away from the game. Now, if that doesn't apply to what people have in their minds and their thinkings and maybe some of their thoughts about certain things, I can't change that. At the time it was no penalties. I didn't do anything wrong in terms of the gambling situation. I wasn't being penalized. I walked away because I chose to walk away. And when I walked back because I chose to walk back, not because my time has expired in terms of my suspension. So for whatever rumor is out there, strictly as rumor. That's it.
When you retired and said you wanted to spend more time with your family, what happened to that notion?
I still do. I miscalculated. I thought baseball would give me an opportunity to go to the cities 3 and 4 times to take my family. Well, I was in smaller cities. It was tougher for my family when I was in minor league baseball. If I was in Chicago, like I dreamed of being, I think it would be a lot easier. But being that I was away from 5 months, I really didn't like it.
For 9 years, you could look up in the stands at the onset of a game and see your dad.
True.
How was it when you could step onto a court and not see your dad?
It was tough. I had a tough time getting off the plane in Indiana, because I knew he wasn't with me physically. Mentally, I knew he was with me. I think I stayed an extra 45 minutes on the plane. I just couldn't get off. I had a tough time getting off.
What were you thinking during those 45 minutes of solitude?
I didn't know if I could do it. I had to build up strength within myself to pursue life after James Jordan, in an arena that he was so much a part of me. And my mother helped me through it. I had to think about the conversation. My wife and all my friends was on the plane. That was the toughest part about coming back and playing.
Do you think about your dad every day?
All the time. I got a picture of him on my mirror. When I get up, I wash it, whatever. I'm thankful. If anything, I'm not really regretful, but I'm thankful that I had him for 31 years, that he taught me so much to move forward and past tragedy and sadness and downtime or down things and negative things in my life. If I hadn't had that education, I'm pretty sure I'd still be mentally broken apart. But he taught me so much to turn a negative into a positive that, in the wake of his death, I've been able to, turn that and say, instead of, having so much anger towards the people who caused this death, but to turn it to a point where, hey, You know, this guy was with me for 31 years. He taught me so much. He's inside of me. I just got to move forward, and I cannot let anger overtake what he's taught me.
What about those people that are in jail? I don't know what your political beliefs are, but if they're guilty, do they deserve to die?
I don't know. You know, I like to think that you all the time you think that you believe an eye for an eye until you put in that situation, and it really doesn't mean much. If they kill those guys, it doesn't mean much to me, you know, because my father's gone. So I can care less about it. I just hope that whatever's the law is taking care of that. But, you know, it won't have any effect.
For motivation during next year's long regular season, Jordan says he'll seek out the league's new faces and give them facials. Grant Hill, Jason Kidd, that means you. By the way, this fan loves Michael back here, but she couldn't spell Michael. Is a little bit dyslexic. Here's part 2 of his conversation with Andrea Kramer.
Are you as good now as you were when you left?
I'm better from a mental aspect, you know, because I approach it as a mature basketball player from both rims, you know, from offense to defense, from a mental aspect, not just physically. I mean, physically I may not be able to take off from the free throw line, yeah, but I may not have to. I think to be consistent to what my stats have always been is important to me, because I think it's a standard that people are going to judge me on no matter what. If I can do it, then I haven't lost a step. If I don't do it, but even though I may have done other things to make this team better, I'm going to be judged on 32 points a game, 51%, you know, 6 or 5 rebounds, or whatever.
What need did you have that only basketball could satisfy?
Love of competition. You know, the competition of you know, proving something on the basketball court. At the time that I retired, I didn't have anything to prove. Now I got something to prove, you know, maybe to myself, to the young guys who've come into the game, that I can still play the way I can play against them.
Back when you were discussing with Jerry Reinsdorf, did you make any requests or voice any opinions about the futures of, say, Scottie Pippen?
I asked.
BJ,
What'd you ask for? What is Scottie's chances of being traded or remaining here in Chicago? And he told me. He didn't think he was going anywhere. I said, good.
If you were the general manager of this team,
would I trade him? No.
Is your relationship with Scottie different now? And if so, why?
I think it's changed for the good. I think we have a better understanding of each other. I think from his aspect, he never understood what my roles and my responsibilities were on this team 2 years ago, until I was gone, and he was propelled into that situation, and he had to experience it. I think he's matured to where he can handle a lot of different things that he couldn't handle 2 years ago.
What would have happened against the Knicks if Scottie sat for 1.8 seconds and you were on the team?
He wouldn't have sat. I think that was a part of Scottie and his maturity, in a sense, or where he thought he was. He wanted that last second shot. He thought he earned that respect because at the time that I was here, he was throwing the ball in. So when I left, it's like he should switch places. He should take that shot. Only thing that you can fault Scottie Pippen is for not going through and letting the fans or let the media or whoever do all the talking for him. If Tony Kukoc missed that shot, you can believe everybody's going to jump on Scottie Pippen's side and say, why didn't he get the shot? See, he didn't have to sit out. Everyone would have spoke for him. You know, that's a lesson that I think he's learned. And I think now he wouldn't sit out.
Now, as you know all too well, Phil Jackson is a very philosophical coach, but being that both of his parents are ministers, how does religion sometimes creep into his coaching?
He connects God with a lot of his actions and his thought patterns, and he tries to get you to understand it from that realm. Some of those things we used to do is we used to sit in a room, and it was the art of thinking or whatever we were doing, and he'd turn out the lights, and everyone like is supposed to think about what your thoughts are for that day and what you're going to do and how it's going to help the team or whatever. And when he first got here, I felt like here we are, 12 guys in a room of darkness, sitting up straight, and we're supposed to have our eyes closed, and everybody's like this, looking around like, is everybody doing this? I mean, but after a while, you saw that it was a part of him, and it's his belief, and you try to exercise it and see if it works. I mean, he doesn't force it on people. I mean, but if you believe in it, you believe in it.
Who do you consider your boss? Who's your boss in life? Everybody's got a boss.
God. Other than that, nobody.
Your boss is God.
That's it.
Why?
Only he can tell me what to do.
Are you that religious?
No, I believe in that. I believe in that he's the father of us all, basically. And everyone's looking at Jerry Reinsdorf as the boss. I mean, yeah, he pays me for the opportunity or the job that I do, but, you know, I have a choice. I can stop playing. I can stop and do whatever I want. And that's not a knock against him, you know, but that's the choice that I have, you know, which is freedom.
Do you almost look at yourself as an independent businessman? Your boss isn't Jerry Reinsdorf or Nike or McDonald's. Your boss is Michael Jordan?
We're all partners. You know, they get something, I get something. It's a partner thing here. So when you got a partner, no one's over their necks, you know. So, you know, why sit back and argue about power plays? You know, if you can do something good for me, you know, hopefully in turns I can do something good for you. But, you know, don't tell me I got to do something, I got to do this. Then I don't consider that a partnership.
What's the psychological impact that you have on opponents, especially in the playoffs? The fact that no one wants to play in Michael Jordan.
No one knows what to expect. You know, I like that. I like when they can't expect something. They're basically going to guess. You never know. You may guess wrong. That's the advantage I always feel I've always had over my opponent, is that they don't know what to expect on a certain day. As soon as they know what to expect, then I lose the edge that I feel I have. But being that they don't know,